think it spilled something
Yeah.
else.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Toxico podcast with René, Vaca, me. We're here joined with Dante Chang and Frankie Marcos. Man, from DC to the Bay, we're out here and we're talking toxic relationships and just toxic shit in general, guys. So stay tuned. But first, a word from our sponsors, y'all. This show is brought to you by the Comedy Showcase, the iPhone app that you need to have if you are a fan of stand-up comedy. They release a ton of new sets monthly by comics like me. Most of all your subscription goes to paying the comedians, which is important if you know how the comedy game works with money, guys. Weed Cellars is the first of its kind. No other alcohol brand in the world spans in all alcohol categories, including wine, spirits, and beer. The weed portfolio comprises 8 wine varietals, 2 beer categories, and a high-scoring award-winning straight bourbon whiskey. Our Italian sparkling wines have been a huge hit, scoring 92 points. Wheat Cellar still wines range in scores from 90 to 92, according to Tasting Panel Magazine's publisher editor-in-chief, Meredith May. Our whiskey is a 93-point Double Gold Sip Award winner and created under the watchful eye of master distiller Mark Weaver. And our beer selection consists of Weed Light Lager and Weed Golden Ale that are both brewed and bottled at Alamo Brewery in San Antonio, Texas. To check out their store and purchase their award-winning line of products, look for them in your local liquor store. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. We're here, Dante Chang, Frankie Marcos. Can't wait to get into it with y'all, man. First of all, Dante, I've known you for a while now. You're like a brother to me.
Oh, thank you, Vaca.
I
appreciate
just
that.
Hug
Appreciate
you every
that.
time I see you, man.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, man. Frankie, I met you, kind of out there. I met you with Jason Rogers.
Yep.
That was my first time I met you when he brought you out here to the Ha-Ha, and he told me you're from the Bay. And I have a lot of respect for people from the Bay. The San Francisco area is something that's very wow, man, you go there and it's so real.
Yeah.
So real.
It's reciprocated, man.
You feel the difference from Los Angeles and Oakland real quick.
It's 5 hours away.
It's a 5-hour drive, but the culture,
Yeah.
though, they're less fake out there.
Well, 5 hours in any direction
Yeah.
is less
You're
fake.
not even from LA. Why are you defending LA like that?
I'm not offending.
No,
LA.
you're defending LA.
Not really.
I'm from LA. I should be defending y'all, man. But some of y'all motherfuckers fake out here. I learned my shit
It's all
from
good.
I learned a lot of my shit from the Bay. You know what I mean? Like when I went out there, I went to UC Merced for school, and so it was just a quick 2-hour drive to San Francisco or to Oakland. Met a
Yeah.
lot of friends out there. Met my first pimp out there.
Nice.
You were a hooker? You were a prostitute?
I was a prostitute. Met
Shouts
my
out to
first-
E.
Prostitute?
No, I wasn't a prostitute, man. I just met my first pimp.
Shouts out to E14,
You know what I'm
East
saying?
Oakland.
You didn't sell your ass for him at all?
No, man. No, look, let me tell you something. It's actually a pretty interesting episode, man, because I hope you don't mind asking. But I'm going to ask you guys some questions later. I hope you guys are open to it. If not, do not answer the question. We don't want you calling us later while you don't like the water.
Oh, that's all right. I just look and see if there's anything floating in that motherfucker, you know?
He saw his face like, I was like,
Something toxic in that bitch, huh?
right?
Water's toxic.
Nah, guys. All right. Well, this is a Toxico podcast. We're gonna talk some toxic shit. I know you have a past. Don't know much about your past, but I'm guessing you do, man. You're a sexy motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? You be showing off your body on the gram like that.
Sometimes.
So you gotta have some toxic shit, man. I know you had bitches knocking on your door. No, I'm sorry. Did I say the B word? I know you. See, you're from Oakland. I get like that. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I've heard you had. I can tell you've had some crazy shit. But for you, current relationship status, I know it, but for the world.
Oh, I'm in a situation. Been in a situation for a while.
Okay, what's that mean? Married?
Yep, married. Yep.
Why is it situation? Why do you say that?
Because it's a situation. I'm married, A good situation.
A good situation.
Yeah.
You guys are great.
Not toxic. Doesn't really belong on
It
this
doesn't
thing.
belong on this podcast. We're not even gonna ask about your marriage here. That's not what we
Great.
want to hear. You have a great marriage
Uh-huh.
right now, and it's great and it's admirable. Trust me, you and Gene are very beautiful, and I admire that. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the shit that Gene doesn't know about. So, Frank, what about you? What's your current relationship status?
I'm in a situation.
You're in a situation. Everyone's in a situation, man.
It's a different situation, but
Everyone's in a situation.
no, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I got somebody real cool.
Okay, cool, man.
You know,
A situation.
yeah.
I mean, this is the perfect Instagram, man, because all the bitches that were wondering, is Frankie Michael with somebody? They're gonna go,
Somebody was disappointed.
They come on. You
Somebody
gotta
was just doing.
If I said I was alone, they would know I'm full of shit.
yeah.
If you have abs, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. I can't lie
Abs
like
are
that.
really like a hitter like that?
Come on, like
What
even
does
as a
that mean?
comic, we both know this. Come on, man. As a
Yes.
comic, are
We
you?
don't have abs, so we're over here looking at us like we got nice
But just,
bodies and shit.
but
Like,
just being a comic, like automatically, your level, you go from a 6 to a 8 real quick. If you're a good comic,
uh-huh.
that's what I'm just saying. We're not. It's hard to be
Okay,
alone.
so we're
Come on,
like
man.
tens.
You know, I mean,
He's like, yeah, you know, that's what you think.
Hey, tell me about this shirt though. What's up with the shirt?
Oh man, I was at Forever 21 with my chick. I was bored and I saw this shirt in the men's section. I was like, you know what? I would never wear this shirt.
You sure that was a men's section?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is it? It looks like you sell carpet. Like
Does
you.
Forever 21 sell men's clothing?
I called it the Uncle Elroy, and he was
Yeah,
about.
I like his perspective on it. You're thinking carpet cleaning. You're thinking women. He thought Uncle Elroy.
I thought he was
I'm
gonna
about
slap
to
a
pimp.
bitch, but you
Looks
know
like
what?
you're like
It looks
You
like
don't
all
like
of
the
those.
shirt?
no. That's it. Just looks like you're dressed for an orgy.
What?
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
you're-
That's
how-
true.
It looks
yeah.
like that's how you dress to an orgy.
Yeah, like he's the first one to answer the door and welcome you
Yeah.
to the orgy. Yeah.
But that's all. Just shirt.
Yeah.
Dick out.
Yeah.
What? Any man that wears a silk shirt slaps women?
Maybe I don't know, but
That's Darius's line.
That is Darius.
it looks like an orgy shirt. Like that's what you wear. You host
Yeah, I
an
like
orgy.
it. I don't give a fuck.
You
I
pull,
feel like I look
you
sexy
pull up.
in it.
They
I
pull
can
up.
rock this shit. You can't rock this shirt.
Now I wouldn't want to. You know?
You can probably rock this shirt,
Uh,
but you know what I mean?
It does look good on you. It does look
it
good.
does
on you.
look good.
Like people
Yeah.
see me wearing this shirt, like, oh, that's René's shirt.
It makes you look Indian as fuck.
Yeah?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay,
No, it just makes you look like. Look.
Fuck
But
you,
it does
man.
look. No, it does look like. I'm sorry. It does look like you're hosting an orgy. And you
Yeah.
answer the door. This shirt and dick out. No
I
pants.
got a nice ass shirt.
Dick just out.
Maybe some the
My girl
socks to
approved
match,
on
but
this
that's
shirt.
it.
My girl approved this
Yeah,
shirt.
maybe some socks.
Yeah.
Is that bad that my girl approved this shirt?
Nah.
That's because she knows nobody's gonna talk to you.
Fuck you, man.
I'm just kidding.
all right, man. So look. It's actually interesting that you guys are from people from Oakland. You know,
I'm actually from San Jose,
San
and then I
Jose,
moved to
but you
Oakland,
moved to
and
Oakland,
now
you
LA.
rep the town a lot. You
But
know
yeah.
what I mean?
Like Tupac, he said he got the game from
yeah,
Oakland.
and
I
that's
know
why
what he
respect
means.
it, you know, and I do the same. I got a lot of my game from up north. To be honest with you, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of the game I learned from out here was from my dad, but like the new game I learned on my own, all up north. You know, and it was just like that place has a special place in my heart. So it was just like asking you and asking you this is pretty interesting because you're from DC. Your city is known for back in the day having a lot of the starting the whole generation of pimps and hustling and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You also grew up in that kind of era of pimping and stuff like that. What do you guys feel like is that like, you know, as far as toxic and now in your relationships, when you're now that you guys are in relationships?
Are you calling our women hookers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Now that you're in a relationship, how do you distinguish the difference from that life to this? Like, because, you know, a lot of us, at first, with me, I'm not going to lie, like, the most toxic relationship I've ever been in are the ones where I've tried to act like, you know, like, I know what I'm doing, and it's like this, how you just treat a woman, and there's no compromise, and it's what it is.
I think the most toxic relationships, me personally, that I've got involved in is the ones that you did not go into it for the right reasons. So it's kind of like your karma that you're receiving for doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like literally, I remember messing with a chick. This is because I thought she looked good. I didn't like her as a person. I thought she was a cunt. You know what I mean? I really thought she was a bitch.
Yeah.
She was all right after a while. She's actually a decent person.
Yeah.
But at first, like she's really an asshole. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But hey, maybe edit out cunt later. But, but whatever, right? And then I was like, yeah, she's bad though. You know, like first she I remember her asking me like, you want to be my boyfriend? I was like, nah. And if you're not gonna be my boyfriend, I'm not gonna have sex with you no more. And I was like, all right, then I'll be your boyfriend. Fuck it, fuck it.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And then
That's
you know, I really didn't like that person in that way. You know what I mean? And for some reason, you suffer for that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've
Because
been in that situation, getting that relationship for the wrong reasons. I had a girl also ask me to be her boyfriend. I think that's the toxic. It's not wrong for women to ask you, but like for women to just like randomly be on a date and be like, you want to just be my boyfriend? Like you should like take a little, like what's the rush here? Like, you know, especially if it's not, but like, I get that, man. It's like, you know, getting into it with the wrong reasons and shit like that, you can't, man. Have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one's a-
Did I say it?
Say it, man. What are you talking about?
I'll leave out who it was,
No,
but
you gotta say who. Yeah.
but there was definitely some manipulation of like using like the guilty card, you know, where it's like, you know, she would say things where that weren't happening. She would like make stuff up and say like some guy, you know, try to like sexual assault type stuff. And
What?
yeah, and it was like at the point where we had already decided like, I'm like, I can't do this, and I moved on. And then she was like, since I moved on, she would still try to like pull me back. So she used every card she could throw, just every curveball she could think of. So one of those being the most extreme towards the end was I was basically, you know, raped. And so like I was like,
Whoa.
what? So since I still had like, even though I had left, of course you still care for that person, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like a real relationship, one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
And then finally when I left, she had thrown that, and I was like, well, who is this motherfucker? Like, I'm gonna whoop his ass, like, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And then I talked to my friend about it. He's like, no, you're tripping. Like, she's manipulating you and you're believing
Oh,
it.
so it was a friend that she threatened?
She told me that she got raped, and I was
By
like,
one of your
by
friends?
who? No, she just said somebody, and I was like, who? Like, tell me who. And then later on, I was like, is she lying? I was like, she might be lying. And then I talked to my friend. He was like, she's definitely lying, bro. He was like, fucking run. He's like, run
How
the
do you know
other
she
way.
was lying though?
Because she had tried a few ways before that. So it was like she.
Honestly, is it because of the abs?
Nah.
No, you don't think it was like.
I don't
Well,
think
what
so.
made you stay there, anyways? Like, what if you knew from the first instance? It was like, well, it's weird.
Good pussy.
Yeah. So you think that's the same situation with men? Where it's just like, good pussy makes
Good
you
pussy
stay?
can make you do all kinds of shit. You see
Yeah.
how many dudes that have multiple baby mamas or they're
Yeah.
with crazy ass toxic
Yeah.
women?
So-
Because the
what-
sex is good. 'cause
What
they have
is
a cra-
what is your strength as a man, or as a man? Sorry, I was wrong to say. What is your strength as a person to distinguish that difference? It's like, I know the pussy's good, but I'm not gonna let it control me. What are some words you would tell yourself back in the day? Before you
I just
found
cut. I just cut them off, because you realize.
So the pussy's so good, I gotta come off.
No. You realize.
But the difference is he goes and cuts all the way off. He doesn't cut off and then be like, whoa, actually, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nah.
You don't go back.
I'm done because
Out of there.
you realize that it took a toll on your soul. Once you come to that realization, you're like, man, I can't fuck with this anymore. You know what I mean? I can't do this anymore. I'll tell you something else crazy this fucking girl did, man. Like, so one day she was like, some girl called her phone saying, yeah, I've been fucking your man. This is bullshit. Like, I would be like, yeah, I'm fucking your man. And
Saying that she was fucking you.
yeah, whatever. And she gave me the phone. I'm like, yeah, you need to stop playing games. You lied to me. And I'm not like, what is going on? I don't even know this person. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't.
got that good dick.
I was confused. I was confused, right? And then she was like, yeah, you fucked me at the Harvest Hotel, whatever.
Oh, shit.
And then,
At the Harvest?
whatever.
What?
I don't know what the hotel was
Harvest
called.
Cheddar Hotel, making up fucking sun chip names.
Some
What
shit
kind of
like
bullshit?
that. Look, check this out. And then I was like, this is not real. I don't know what it is. And I went to my car and found a book of matches that said Harvest Hotel. Right?
What?
Oh,
And I was like,
shit.
what the fuck is going
Wow.
on? I know I didn't do
You sure
this.
you don't remember you taking no one?
No,
to
this
the
is
Harvest?
real. This is real.
You're
And then,
lying.
No, check this out. And I was confused. But then what it gave this female, she was able to invade my privacy. Because no, you're fucking this girl, so I'm gonna look through your shit and I'm gonna find something. I'm gonna find something.
Oh,
I'm gonna
shit.
find, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Look through my phone. Well, I was like, why you looking at the motherfucker? Because you're fucking that, you know what I mean?
And she found everything.
Yeah, and she would basically made just destroy. I had no privacy after that.
Oh.
And you know what I mean?
And
I was
you
like,
think that's bad? Like, okay, so there's no comeback from no piracy? You think so?
well, at this, I had to end this shit because I felt to the point where I couldn't even. I had no. We all need our private time.
I've been in a
Everybody.
relationship where it ended for
Huh?
a whole other reason, but it was a part of the relationship where I just had no privacy. It was just like I couldn't do anything without her finding out about it. Anything I did, any button I clicked, she was just there like, I found out you did that, and I'm like, how the fuck did you find out?
You
I
like
did
that picture.
I know. How did I find out you clicked? I clicked on the website. You don't even have my. What are you talking about? Like, you know, it's just like,
Jeez.
why are you clicking on that link? Like, what? And it's just like, for me, I'm just like, do you think there's any comeback from that privacy trust?
Maybe a talk. As long as it's a talk, and I understand it's possible. But I've in the one situation where it was really bad, it was no coming back from it. Like this bitch would stand behind me on the computer, like when I'm on the phone. You know what I mean? Like oh man. But
Who are you giving that good Asian dick to?
this part two of that story. This part two though.
Yeah.
Right. So a few years later, one of my best friends started dating her best friend.
Oh,
right.
shit.
You know what I mean? A few years later, and the same shit happened to him. Same thing.
That's how
A
they
girl
get
called.
friends?
Yeah, it's
Hell
a
nah.
game they run so the woman can invade your privacy, so you can't do shit because they don't trust you. You know what I mean?
Bruh.
Invader Zim?
Huh?
Invader Zim?
Yeah.
Bruh. You can make a sweater like that. Invader Zim sweater.
Maybe.
If you don't-
Maybe.
And no, but look, that's crazy. Cause okay, let me ask you something. Okay, and I'm gonna get to the next question. But if you are ever in a relationship where you're feeling like I'm on thin ice with this chick, and if there's ever a situation where you're just like, fuck, dude, I can't do anything anymore, what do? Do you go straight to like, I need to end this, or like, hey, because it's hard when you really love the person.
Mm-hmm.
When you're just like, I love you, and I know we're like this right now, and part of it could be my fault. Because at that time, it was my fault. I did fuck up the trust, whatever. But then, like, that whole thin ice shit was just like, this is my fault right here, right? But I'm trying to fix it right now, but you're not letting me because you keep remembering by the time I fucked that bitch. You know, it's just like, but my point is, like, don't forgive if you're never really gonna forgive. You know what I mean? It's like, have you ever been, like...
Well, some people can let themselves heal. Some people can't.
Yeah.
And the sad truth is you don't know until the process is done. You know what I mean? Well, some people can move on, let themselves heal, forgive. It's very possible.
Do you have any red flags right now that you see right away and you're just like, fuck that? If I ever see this, like now you're married, but like I mean, like I'm sure.
No, we imaginary circumstance, right?
imaginary circumstance, like,
yeah, I mean, as long as like, you got to tell yourself like, how long can I deal with this
Sustain
person?
this, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, is it gonna take a toll on me? What's the cost? Does everything cost? It might seem free
it's a
at the
business
moment.
at the end of the day, right?
Well, if you want to look at it that way, but everything costs.
What's the cost here?
You know?
My production cost.
It costs. You have a cost. You know what I mean? It takes a toll. So you got to make a decision. Is it worth it? It's your choice. If you stay there, it's your choice. You know what I mean? You know that this is fucking with you. You know that this is like invading your privacy or whatever the case is, whatever your thing is. You know what I mean? That you feel might be toxic. It's your choice. Once you have awareness of what this is, then you have to make a choice. You know what I mean? And you might as well make it quick. I make it quick. I'm like, oh yeah, I made a decision. I'm done. What's the name? Somebody we know wanted to break up with this girl, and he waited like a year and a half, and you know what I mean? And then one day just left out. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, you just went through it. You wasted a year and a half. Time is precious. It would for me. It would have been fucking made a decision. Let me get this together. Tell you what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 3 weeks, 2 weeks, or a month maybe. I'm out.
Yeah.
Because I have to. You know, I made a decision.
Happened, right? Like,
well, you have to do what is, because
even if you marry the chick.
at this point you're not just being fucked up to yourself. You're being fucked up to her too.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
It's fucked up all the way around. So
What about
you have to
Marco?
move.
Some red flags for you.
I'm 30 now, so. How old are you?
25.
And you?
27.
You
Hey,
lying
you
ass.
can't say it online. but,
Asian,
you know,
he could be 150 right
yeah,
now.
he's aging well.
I'm also Asian
He's
too. I'm
aging well.
Filipino, by the way. So
He thinks Filipinos are some of the cutest Asians, by the way.
You're Filipino?
yeah,
You're not
I'm
Latino at all?
Mexipino. I'm Mexipino. I'm only a quarter
Mexipino.
Filipino.
That's where the
Okay.
abs come from.
No, but what I'm saying is, at 30, I could identify those things pretty quick now.
Oh,
like,
okay.
and not that I have to deal with that,
Okay.
You
but
still got some time, bud.
I like
But-
Mark. See, Mark has like the most healthiest relationship, and he always comes at me like, "My wife doesn't do that." Tell my wife right now I'm fucking someone, she won't believe me. He has like a great relationship. You have a great relationship. Fuck both of y'all.
You have a great relationship too.
I have a great relationship. Why you gonna make me look bad like that?
What?
Right now, my podcast. I have a great relationship.
He does have a great relationship.
Motherfucker, why you do that, Dante?
What do you want me
He's
to do?
gonna listen to this and call me on there like, even Dante thinks I have a great relationship. I mean, you don't.
But from what I see, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, actually, yeah. Let's move on. We have.
Okay, people.
What is the dumbest fight you ever had in your life? Like you said, you had a toxic relationship. Dumbest fight.
dumbest fight.
Dumbest fight.
I would go back. I think the younger you go, the dumber it gets. Like I was saying earlier.
What?
Because like I think
My
about.
girl's 9 years older than me,
Wow.
and we still have our fights. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
what do you
but
mean?
like, okay, well let's see. God damn. I don't even remember how dumb it was, but I just remember in high school senior year, we were like yelling, arguing at each other in the room, and then her mom just like busted in the door, and she's like, what the fuck are you guys arguing about? It's the stupidest shit. You're talking about this, and this has nothing. You have no real problems. You don't pay any bills. You guys sound fucking stupid right now.
My girl sister.
And then me and her just looked at each other like we started kind of giggling. We're like, wow, we were really heated right now over nothing.
Dude, that's how it gets, man. My girl did that to me the other day. My girl sister did that to her the other day. We were arguing, and then she was kind of like, are you guys gonna keep arguing about stupid shit like that? We're all like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we hear you.
Yeah.
Like, you know? And that shit was just like, that's when it can get bad, man. Like,
What's the worst one though?
Like my fight, man. I don't need to describe them throughout a lot of podcasts, but you know, I say like the last worst one was in Santa Barbara, when it was just like I told her I love you, and she took forever to say it back, but she took like 5 seconds to say it back.
That's a long time.
Fool, I was just like I love you, and she was like,
do I love this fucking piece of shit?
I love you too. I was like, why the fuck it take forever to ruined our whole Santa Barbara weekend, fool? Like, you were there, like, fucking arguing, like, nah, and then it went to something else, and something else.
And when you get in the energy, it keeps going.
That energy is hard to stop. You ever
guys
had
started
that energy?
spiraling down like
You have to get out of
fucking.
it. You have to get out of it.
To a point where you're like, I want to fuck with her. We're still here. Like,
yeah.
That's bad. You ever been in that situation? Like, dumbest fight, bro. Even if it's with your
All
wife
right,
now. You ever had a fight with your wife?
Nah, you know,
You ever had a fight with Gene?
I don't know what's your opinion on this, but I did not feel like this is my fault, right? I was in the bed with this girl I was dating and her sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
No, but we were just innocent stuff though.
What the fuck?
Supposed
In
to
the
be
bed?
innocent.
What?
No, we were
Fucking-
just watching movie, like watching a movie that
We
fell
were just
asleep.
playing Twister in the
You know
bed,
what I mean?
nothing major.
No, just regular. No, and then I
We're
wish I
watching
could say
Star
it was like a
Wars.
threesome off the bat, but look, whatever. It's like everyone starts falling asleep, and one of them is and starts jerking me off, right? And I think it's my girl because I was like, man, she's kinky doing this in front of her sister and shit.
Yeah.
But then I realized it's his sister.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And now, I mean,
damn.
later she and the funny thing is like in my head, I'm like, why would you do that? Your sister's right here, like, you know what I mean? And she like figured it out. I go, oh my god, and whatever, right? And then she was really mad at me. And I was like, how do I know? How am I supposed to? I'm like this.
Where do you
know what I
find
mean?
these sisters?
Huh?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, but it's not my fault.
Were you
what?
guys drinking, or you had to be drinking?
You fought for that?
Yeah, well, she was mad for like 3 days, man.
And you still stayed. That's crazy for me. Like, when my sister just jacked you off, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I didn't know.
dude,
You know?
like as a woman, I'm like, why do you stay there?
It probably lasted like another month. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh, fuck that, dude. Like,
because I was willing to put up with it at the time.
Let's be honest, dudes get way more chances than women do. Come on,
hey man, that's true, man.
we do. Girls will give a dude a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Men would be like, you looked at my coworker, I'm out of here.
They come
Hella
back.
fast.
That is true.
I
Women,
need a place to sleep.
Bro, yeah, yeah.
like women, most women, I believe, will forgive you for one cheat. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Most
My woman has
dudes-
to forgive me.
yeah.
My woman has to forgive me for a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie about that. But her problem is forgiving and not forgetting.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's
you
not
said,
a problem.
because then she brings it up later, right?
No,
And
because
then-
whenever you do shit, she does shit. You be like, but what about the time you did this?
Yeah.
And then it becomes about you.
Yeah, and I'm just
and
like,
then
okay,
she's
I
pissed off.
guess have no argument here. Fuck that.
See, because one time she.
Fuck that shit, dude. All right, man. So like, what's the worst? Next question, man. Just like, I know we've all had like our bad sexual experience, man. Like most toxic sexual experience you've ever had, man. Like
Toxic?
even if it's a date or just like you were just like maybe you were just there like, for the date or whatever it is, man. Just
I don't know, man.
you never had everything was right for you.
How
I
about
mean-
just bad? How about just a bad?
Bad. I tell you, bad.
What I
right?
mean by bad sexual toxic is like you were just there for the sex.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's what I
That
mean.
was
It's just
damn near
like,
almost most people.
Really?
Yeah, the most Like
and that's what's crazy, man. Like I grew up watching a lot of pimp documentaries, and I said this in another podcast where like pimps don't like to connect sex with their stuff, and it's just like I tried to adapt that mentality of like not making everything about sex. Very hard.
You know
Very
what?
hard.
I when I was a kid, when I was young, I got really sad over the first girl I was with. I was really sad, and it made me go into like a sad place. I remember being there, and then I told myself never again. Right. So until like it took years of me even being married, a few years in to actually let that go, because I was like, now I could trust this
Now,
person. You know
Gene-
what I mean?
if Gene says
Because
I'm out, you'll
I
be
was
like, what
always
the fuck?
yeah, I would be like, oh God, again, but I always had
you
my
call
stuff
me?
on lock, huh?
Would you call me?
Sure, man.
No, you
Sure.
wouldn't.
I'll call you and have sex with you. You gotta wear that shirt. You know what I mean?
Sure. But yeah, I feel that, man. Yeah, I feel that.
You know, so I don't know. I was real. You know what I mean? Until I was like, all right. I felt comfortable with dropping my guard.
So you never had like a bad date or anything like that, like
What you mean?
like a bad sexual experience or a bad date or anything? Like
Bad sex. I tell you,
that was like toxic, but you're like, fuck.
the toxic. How could I say toxic? I can tell you gross. You
What's
know?
gross about it?
No, this gross was this was a girl. She was like, I thought she had a pretty face, right? But she was like 300, 400 pounds, really big, right? I was like, I'm gonna just have sex with her to see how it goes, you know. And then we go, and then lifted her titty, and it stunk like an armpit. Now that's toxic. I was like, oh,
man,
I was like,
that'd be hard for me too, though. You know, you try to lick titty, you smell the armpit.
yeah, like my dick shrunk so fast.
But men have that problem too, where it's like balls and shit. When your balls smell, it's,
Yeah.
you want her to suck your dick still. It's like Joey Diaz talks about all the time. Your balls smell, and you still want to suck your dick.
That's
Your
a
balls never
respect thing. That's a respect thing.
What about you, man? Never had that?
Toxic sexual?
No. Well, not
I'll be
sexual, just
honest.
toxic anything, just like toxic date, toxic first thing.
I'll be honest. I had a couple ex-strippers in my sexual history, and one of them cried after. That was
What?
weird. The first time, great sex, perfect, vibing, great.
I'm
Next
married
time-
stripper.
She was in a rough place mentally,
Oh.
and it just came out. Like right out, I was like, this is kind of the vibe was not the same.
Yeah.
And then right after sex, she was just like, she just turned the other way, and I was like, are you good? And then she just starts
Start
crying, and I was
crying.
like, bro, this is the shit that comedians talk about. I'm living this shit. This is weird as fuck. And then yeah, it just she left
That's the
like
that's
the
weird thing, dating a
hotel. It
stripper.
was weird.
I dated a stripper, and that was one of the weirdest things in my life. Where it's just
You
like,
think it's gonna be cool?
you
Nah,
think it's
bro.
be cool, but then you're like, especially a man like me, I get dressed a lot. I didn't. I knew we weren't like serious like that
Yeah.
from the beginning. Like, I'm not gonna fucking take the stripper serious. But it's like at some point I'm like, I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
You know what? You know what it is? I will say this: the exterior is really cool. Some
Right.
of them have like real. They dress nice.
The money,
they know where to
whatever,
their
they
money.
buy you shit.
They buy you shit. They know where to go. They know where to eat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're
They
really.
know people that have connections. Like, oh shit.
But a lot of them, obviously, they're
You
doing
know the
what
owner
they
of the
do.
store? You give me a shirt.
You know that internally they're you know what I mean. They have some
Yeah, some
type
problem.
of issues if they're doing this. You know what I mean? They've been through something. Not to say they're not good people or whatever, but
All right, guys. No, but all right. Let's move on to the next question. We got to move on to our Patreon section of the show. If you haven't subscribed to our Patreon section, make sure you subscribe to it. 5-star review and stuff like that. But what is your most toxic behavior? At the end of, we like to sum it up with, you know, we all have had our toxic women. We can talk all the shit we want about the women we've been with or men, but oh, we can talk all the shit we want. But
Have you
at the
been
end
with
of the day-
Renee too, though?
huh?
Have you been with Renee too? Cause I thought that was exclusive. Thought it was exclusive.
Man, that's why his butthole's so loose. You know?
That's true.
You can fist this dude if you want.
That's
At the
true.
end of the day, man, we got a lot of shit to talk about in the Patreon section. I gotta really ask you guys about that. But at the end of the day, what is your toxic behavior that you're like, all right, like, I still have this, or had that you recently just fixed? That you're like, all right, I just fixed this, or I'm still going through this. When it comes to women, this is my toxic behavior. What is yours?
I think if you get loud and aggressive it makes me loud and aggressive. Sometimes it's not what you say; it's how you say
Does
it.
your wife
It's
do
the
that
energy.
too, or she gets loud?
No,
aggressive
I
and you
mean
do
it
that?
was, but she's really worked on
Changed,
it.
yeah.
And we both have a cool thing. We have this understanding. This really has helped our relationship tremendously. Is like, don't point at the other person. Don't tell the other person what they're doing wrong. Fix yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Perfect yourself. And
I like that. And
the
you
more-
told me that the other day.
the more we had that have that attitude, I mean, we used to fight like 3-4 times a week, frequently. The moment we actually took that on and actually go in rotation, because you take baby steps, you effort, and then it gets better
Right.
and better and better, right? As soon as it start really getting motion, it'll go a year, we fight once, maybe not. You know what I mean? It really, really escalated the relationship and took it to a really peaceful place.
I've seen her scream at you when you do some shit, and then you like calm it down so fast. Where she's like, "What the fuck? Why'd you do that?" And you're like, "Hey, calm down, man. I'm tired."
So he's practicing what he's preaching.
You have to.
He's figuring
very-
his own shit out
he's
first. You
very-
could get loud, but I'm gonna do what I'm
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to do.
I like that. You know
You're
what I
not
mean?
gonna knock me off my horse.
like that.
Right.
I'm gonna keep going.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
like that, man.
Now there are times where you do get sucked into it, especially like it's your mode. Like if you say this to me at 2 p.m., I might brush it off. You say it to me at like 8:30 p.m., it might get to me. It depends on where you are at the time. You know what I mean?
Fucking
Sometimes,
right.
but we work to be the best version of ourselves to just react better this time, because you're gonna keep going through the same shit until you figure it out. That's how I feel like life works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Until you learn the lesson, it keeps happening to you.
That's
Right.
crazy, man.
You know?
'Cause I feel that, man. That's something I need to learn, man. What's yours though, Frankie? Like, what's your toxic behavior that you're just like, I still need to
This-
work on this shit.
This shit sounds terrible because it's such a common thing with dudes, but like running from commitment at the last minute. Like
wow, what's that
right when
mean?
the trap is coming, I'm like, I'm out of the
What's
trap. Ah.
What's the trap? How do you even
The
sense it?
trap
How do you
is
see it? How do
a
you do
woman
it?
wants to trap a dude. Men want to run away and conquer women.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
See,
there's
that's the
been,
exact opposite for me, man. I wanted to find out one woman and I did.
Then that's great.
And I want to
That's-
live that Ice Cube
that's
life where
great.
I've had her for years and we've been in this relationship and she got up with me.
That's fantastic, man. I'm like scared. I'm the opposite because I know I have friends that are younger. I have friends that are way older, and they talk about their marriage experiences, and I'm like, that's some scary shit. Like the dude, like once you're
What's scary
once
about
you're
it for you?
like once you're married, and let's say
Are we
if
gonna
you
ask
get in
Mark
a-
if this is true?
let's say
what's
you
scary
get in an
about it for you?
argument with a woman will win no matter what. You lose every time. Even if you win, you're right with the point.
I won
You
some
still
fights.
lose. You still lose because
Mark,
the
is that
woman.
true?
It's totally true.
Really?
See, thank
Why
you,
you
thank
nod your
you.
head no and then say
You-
yes?
No, you. I'm
She's
saying
the
you
boss.
thought you won,
She's the
but you
boss.
didn't.
Even if you're
Why did you
right,
win?
look
I
at.
won the last night.
Put,
You win.
back me up on this too.
I thought I won
If
last
you're
night.
right, let's say the information that you said was correct. Even then, she can still throw an emotion, and then you
Dude,
lose.
Or bring
Michael,
up something you did
take
6 months
some.
ago.
Exactly.
And-
So
and
you
try to make-
lose.
Fuck this shit.
No,
man.
but you know what
Say
though?
that for
I will say
Patreon.
this. Once my woman took on fixing herself, she admits fault. It's weird. It changed her. You know what I mean?
We need to have like.
Yeah, that's why she's probably the greatest woman in the world.
You have a great
You know?
woman.
That's dope.
She's good.
My wife and I look at you guys and we admire you guys.
We look at the toxic podcast comes to a happy ending.
At the end of the day, man. But we're gonna say this for Patreon. We got some shit to talk about.
Be
on
like,
the
that wasn't
Patreon.
toxic.
I got a lot
That
of
was
shit
positive.
I have to
Fuck
say
him.
that I recently just thought about, man, and we're gonna talk about on the Patreon. Anything that you guys did not feel comfortable saying on here, you guys can say it on the Patreon. Only people that pay for the Patreon are gonna see this. It does not be promoted. It's not be publicly. Please be as much shameful as you can. Plug yourselves right now for the people who aren't gonna pay for the
Which
Patreon.
camera? Which camera?
Whichever one you want. These are your cameras right here. So plug yourself. Anything you got. We got a lot of comedians on this shit. So you got
At
your
Dante Chang, Instagram. That's about it.
mic. No, he's got a badass open mic that he does.
Do that shit.
FB Comedy Mike is the IG.
Flashback.
Slide it
comedy,
on the
FB
bio. Click. It's open every day.
Yeah,
you know.
man. He has a badass mic with the Supreme Red mic. You ever seen the Supreme Red mic? Never
They seen it. They probably seen it.
They probably seen
Go
it.
just
Some
to
of
see
y'all.
the mic, man.
Hey, man. Frankie Marcos right here, man. What's up with you, man? You got anything to plug?
Yeah,
Got a lot of
it's all on Frankie M comedy. Frankie with
Frankie
the
M
IE.
Comedy.
Frankie comedy. Easy. TikTok, YouTube. I got my podcast too. I'll be definitely having you on.
Thanks, man.
you have me on too, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Wait for a minute.
all that shit is on
I
there.
got a lot of shit to ask you guys on the Patreon, so wait for that. Please make sure you leave us a 5-star review and check us out on Toxico Confessions on our Patreon. We have our audio available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google, and Spotify. Make sure you subscribe, follow them, and yeah, guys, make sure you buy your weed whiskey and your weed wine.